Good evening, folks.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Howie.
Howie?
How are we going to hide these dead bodies? Good evening, folks, and welcome to the Daily Deadline, where tonight we will be talking about a deadly issue.
We're going to talk about just how terrible some human burials can be.
I know, right? Aren't humans just so terrible with our embalming and our caskets and just screwing the earth up even more after we've already died? But, you know, there are some ways to practice safe, eco-friendly burials.
But first, we visit Alan, the greatest mind of the 21st century, who will shed some light onto why people bury in their traditional methods. Here we are at Alan's research lab. Can you explain to us why people bury in their traditional methods?
First of all, thanks for joining me here, Dean. And many cultures and religions have these practices to respect the dead, which is the overall goal for them.
Can you give us a few examples?
Yeah, sure. For example, the Balinese, as in right here, right now, they have ceremonial burnings and they don't mourn the dead. And this has to liberate the soul to make it go into higher worlds and free for reincarnation. More so, Mormons. Mormons, they believe like it's not a final goodbye once they bury them, but it's more of a farewell, as in they will be met up with again. And also, Scientology, they think that once they bury it, they should do this and to honor them, to as like general overview, but more so to praise them for spending time with them and praising their life achievements and to bid them farewell in their future existence. Catholicism, they believe that they should do it on blessed grounds because they think the body is a holy temple for the Holy Spirit. But with all these reasons, it all ends the same. They all want to pay respect to their dead.
Wow. Thank you, Alan. You can get back to whatever you were doing. Back to you at the studio. At this point, most of you are wondering, why am I watching a late-night comedy show about eco-friendly burials? But don't worry, we don't want to bore you to death.
So we had one of our Daily Deadline team members, Veronica, find you the perfect video about the cool side of burials. You should pay attention if you have any dead bodies laying around. I do.
Coffins do not allow the body to decompose. This means the soil does not receive the nutrients from the body. Also, burials are continuing to take up space in the earth. The process of cremation uses natural resources that are slowly depleting. Cremation also causes pollution due to the emission of gases into the atmosphere. Dumping ashes into waters are toxic to aquatic life and harms our water resources. Spraying ashes on land infects the soil and plants with unwanted chemicals. The rocket uses extensive resources to keep the body contained and destroys the environment around the explosion, and the debris caused by the rocket is distributed around space. It's gross, it's unethical, and it's a health risk.
That was absolutely astonishing.
Wasn't it? Oh my gosh, we'll be right back after this short break.
You ever notice people are buried in plain old coffins?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter, right? Because they're
Hey,
dead.
shut up! Anyway, more coffins for less are made with reinforced steel and the most exotic woods found on Earth.
You mean your coffins are contributing to deforestation?
Oh, we don't use that much wood. We use glue and formaldehyde too.
You mean the carcinogen?
People will die from cancer regardless. So for just $15,999.99, you get a coffin with Bluetooth 4.0 capabilities, Wi-Fi, heated cushions, ambient lighting, and it helps prevent decomposition as well.
That'll make me go bankrupt, and the nutrients the body stole over its lifetime won't be able to return back to the earth. There's a biological
Aren't you just supposed to agree with everything I say? So for just $15,999.99 and your social security number, you get this luxury coffin!
Boy, oh boy, I sure do want to die today to get my hands on this smoking deal!
Now that's the attitude I'm looking for!
What?
Don't you say another word, you miserable excuse for a human! Buy your coffin today!
We're back, folks. These traditional burials aren't labeled as the bane of mankind for no reason. They pollute us and slowly kill us from the inside. Sort of like IBIome.
That may be on the dark side, but it is a sad truth.
Reporting on this issue is Marco, our weatherman.
Now to the weather. History of high temperatures will be occurring this week all over the country for the first time ever. As you can see, Indiana and Illinois are one of the first to start this morning with those high temperatures. I can assure you, by the end of this week, we will be feeling the burn. As we approach Arizona, Mainly every city is in the 105 degrees, such as Grand Canyon, Page, and Flagstaff. Luckily, it is not as hot as Phoenix with 137 later this afternoon. As we approach Phoenix, boiling temperatures in the mid and upper 120s across the county, and is expected to rise in the next few hours. In the forecast, every day the temperature will be increasing, and by Saturday we will all die. Sorry about that studio change. Anyways, part of the reason why it is so hot is due to cremation becoming more and more popular. As you can see, Arizona is amongst one of the few states that prefers cremation over burials. Evidence shows to fully incinerate a body to ashes and bones, 1400 through 1800 Fahrenheit is needed in 45 to 90 minutes. Also, due to the process of cremation using lots of fossil fuels, many dioxins such as hydrochloric acid, hydrofluoric acid, and fragments of mercury are dispersed into the air. Fragments of mercury, being more dangerous of all, goes into the air and comes back to Earth as acid rain. Part of the reason why we might die earlier than Saturday. Two solutions to prevent the death of all Americans is to switch to eco-friendly burials or stop dying in the first place.
That put a rain on my parade. Now I need someone to blame for all this. Please welcome your friendly neighborhood mortician, Mr. S.
Woo! It's great to have you on the show, Mr. S.
It's great to be here.
So let's start off by talking about your main duties at the morgue.
Well, first I'd like to get to know the clients or the bodies. I take multiple pictures of my clients, including some selfies.
Oh my God, me too. You have to have some way to have fun around death. Am I right?
You are indeed. But as I was saying, I like to photograph the clients in multiple positions. I take photos of them sitting at my desk, sitting at a table set for dinner for two, and other normally medically necessary documentations.
How do you define necessary?
Will you stop interrupting me, please?
I apologize. Let's move on to the next question. We know how much your clients mean to you. With this in mind, what is the ideal burial ritual you prefer each client to undergo?
Well, honestly, I love my job. I mean, I really love my job. I also hate that I have to inject poisonous substances into my beautiful friends. Formaldehyde only postpones the inevitable decomposition of the gorgeous structure we call the human body. It's very sad, but I like to think that formaldehyde allows me to have more time with my beautiful friends.
But if formaldehyde is so dangerous and toxic to the earth, why do you keep using it?
Well, because someday I'm going to dig up all my friends and have a giant tea party with all of them.
Hi, I think that's a great idea.
Humans are so awful to the earth. I think they all deserve to die.
Well, more friends the merrier.
Thank you for your participation in our interview today, and I hope you will soon have that party. I would love to join, I might add.
Oh, thank you so much, and visit me sometime.
Absolutely not. Of course, we will see you, the audience, again after the commercials.
Hello, I'm Douglas, and this is Cody, and welcome to the Death Advisory Board. Improper burial can have quite a dramatic impact on the earth as a whole. We're not referring to vampires, zombies, or any other denizen of the night, but rather the ecological impact many traditional burial methods have on the environment. Cremation and a typical burial in a wood coffin made of various woods have been used by numerous cultures for centuries. The introduction of chemicals such as embalming fluid have streamlined the process, but prevents the body from breaking down and decomposing further. While these chemicals might not turn your loved ones into a vicious bloodsucker, these chemicals, although, are sucking the earth of vital nutrients.
There are numerous other alternatives for a conventional burial. You can have a biodegradable coffin, which lets you have the normal funeral, but without the harmful effects of the normal coffin. Another is an eco-friendly shroud that will deteriorate with the body and give more nutrients to the soil and the planet. One of these types of burials will cost around $500 to $2,000 total, much cheaper than the average burial. Some of these new seed pods that have popped up recently let your loved one become a beautiful tree.
While death might be hard to think about, it will not only be saving the earth, but your pocketbook as well.
Just when you thought this couldn't get any more boring, You better believe someone found a way. Get ready for it. Politics and burials. They go together like tuna fish and jelly.
They don't.
They don't go together at all.
Welcome to America, where our trees stand tall and our lakes are clear. However, there are those who would stand to practice ecological damaging post-mortem actions for the sake of tradition. The name of the most radical of these is Ronald Stump.
When I am buried, I'm happy to know that I will have my 20-karat gold casket waiting for me. You better believe that I will use traditional burial methods, including the use of formaldehyde. And once I am president of this great nation, you will too, no matter what.
If Stump becomes president, the nature itself will suffer.
No, it won't.
Yes, it will. But there is someone who can fix it. His name is Colonel Sanders. He will endorse the use of ecologically friendly burials and return the nutrients back to the earth. He even supports a burial that can help grow trees from the individuals buried and help families save money in the process. For this brighter future, we ask that you #vote Sanders 2016.
My name is Colonel Sanders, and I approve this message.
Wow, I cannot wait to visit my favorite local cemetery and mortician. I'm going to show them all the ways to do eco-friendly burials based on this next video.
Boring.
Hi, today we're here with Gina, who owns an eco-friendly graveyard. Gina, would you like to tell us a little bit more about your burial practices?
I'd love to, Colleen. I own a biodegradable graveyard. And what I mean by that is that everything that goes into the ground is biodegradable. We use no harmful chemicals in the body, no formaldehyde, no other harsh chemicals that could leach into the soil and possibly pollute the area. And our coffins are 100% biodegradable.
That's lovely to hear, Gina. So would you mind telling our audience here about some of the negative impacts that traditional burials tend to have on the earth and the communities around us?
Well, the traditional burial doesn't even allow the body to decompose. And so you have bodies that could actually supply nutrients to trees and other plants just fermenting in the inside a coffin. Also in Arizona, I don't know if you know this, that Arizona you have to be encased in a cement so that the ground does not collapse above it. So even the coffin itself won't degrade.
Yeah.
So you're leaving a very heavy carbon footprint.
Oh yeah, after all the carbon footprints that you've already left while you were alive. So can you maybe try and persuade some of our viewers who might be on the edge about whether to do a traditional burial or a burial with, say, someone like you as to why they should do it with somebody like you?
You know, our burial in our graveyard, it looks very similar to a regular graveyard. You wouldn't know the difference. We still have markers so that the families can go and remember their departed one. And they can rest assured that their loved one is becoming part of the earth again. And that is like a beautiful thought, that there is a recycling of the human essence.
Well, Gina, that's just so beautiful that I almost just want to die right now. And back to you, Dean.
Action.
Thanks for joining us today, folks. And join us again next week when we're going to learn the science behind why Dean here is so annoying.
Yeah, welcome